Hey, this is Stangboy Prime back for another review, and this time we are reviewing I'm probably gonna have to split this into two parts because this thing is just awesome. Um, this is the USS Enterprise 1701 refit of the Constitution class from the first, second, and third original Star Trek movie. This is the Diamond Select and Art Asylum mold of the Enterprise A. I'm sorry. This is not the Enterprise A. The Enterprise A was only in Star Trek 5 and 6 because this Enterprise is the refit of that Enterprise. Technically, they're the same thing. This Enterprise was in the Star Trek the Motion Picture, as well as Star Trek II The Wrath of Khan, and Star Trek III The Search for Spock. Star Trek IV did not have an Enterprise in it because the Enterprise was destroyed over the Genesis planet in Star Trek III. And then Admiral Kirk ordered the self-destruct sequence to defeat the Klingons that were trying to get the secret of the Genesis torpedo. That's this. Star Trek IV, the only real spaceship that was in it was the Klingon bird of prey, which they stole from the Klingons after, well, not stole, commandeered after the Enterprise was destroyed over the Genesis planet, and then the Genesis planet exploded, or just died, or whatever. Haven't seen the movie in a while. In Star Trek 5 and 6, it's this same design. You've got these sleeker, newer warp nacelles and the swept back and the whole better looking starship. However, it is not originally the Enterprise. For Star Trek 5 and 6, the Enterprise that they use is actually, it started out life as the USS Yorktown. I don't know the registry number, so I'm not going to attempt to find it and say it. Probably find the wrong thing anyways. But under emergency circumstances, Starfleet rechristened the Yorktown the Enterprise, but put an A on the end of the registry number, so it was the NCC-1701A. And that's the same design. That's how the A came around. And to my knowledge, the Enterprise A was mothballed. On to the toy. This toy is amazing. It's got the same display stand here as the original Enterprise, minus one thing. I can't mess this one up, because the socket is actually in the battery compartment door instead of being a separate thing on top of the ball here. But it still comes apart into two sections. You have the Starfleet emblem and then still that track right there for the single-sided upright support on it. Onto the ship. In terms of size, it is relatively the same. well, there we go. Yeah, it's a little bit longer, and the saucer is a little bit bigger than the original Enterprise. You can't really see that, can you? Now, I'm not going to be able to get that on film. But, there we go. It's swoopier, I like to say. It's more aerodynamic, which means absolutely jack in space, but, you know. Get this close enough. It's not going to focus, but you can barely see the Aztec repeating panel pattern here on the panels. That is all over the ship. Got on the saucer, on the underside of the saucer. It's a different pattern down here, but there are different panel, there you go, different panel lines etched into it all over. Down here, on the warp nacelles and everything. It's not going to focus, is it? That's just not going to focus. Oh well. Okay. I love this ship. This one is really awesome. The lights are slightly different than the original there. We still have the warp nacelles, however, it's not the Bassard collector anymore. It's the inside of the warp nacelle. It's right there. Instead of having the bridge dome here light up, we have these windows on the back of the bridge light up. Also, I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, there's 3 dark lines right there around the bridge. Those are actually light piped for it to light up. You can barely see it half the time though. You also have the top here and the back. Well, maybe not so much the back, but because the impulse engines are painted, but the top little dome, observation dome here on the impulse engine assembly lights up. And underneath, instead of the sensor array lighting up, we have the main deflector lighting up. And this thing has 18 sound effects. I'm not even kidding. It really has 18 sound effects. So to continue on, I'm gonna have to stop right here and, well, yeah, I'm gonna have to stop right here and make a second video for it. So until then, Stang Boy Prime out.